Good morning, Tigers. All right, so yesterday we looked at the Constitution and how that Constitution came to be and what it does. We talked a little bit about the Federalists and the Anti-Federalists. So today what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the branches of government, because what the Constitution did is it divided our government into three main parts. So we're going to look at those three main parts today. It says the Constitution divides the national government into three parts or branches: the legislative branch, the executive branch, and the judicial branch. And each branch does a different job. So we're going to look at these three branches. So the legislative branch, this branch is what makes the laws for the country. It's called Congress. Congress has two parts. It has the Senate and the House of Representatives. And each state elects 2 senators to the Senate, and each state also elects a certain number of representatives to the House, which is based on population. Remember that whole great compromise? Here it is, still in effect today. Every state gets 2 senators, and every state gets representatives based on the number of people in your state. All right? Now, what Congress does is it has the power to raise money through taxes or by borrowing. It uses this money to pay for goods and services such as an army, roads, national parks. Okay, that's the job of the legislative branch. The executive branch can suggest laws, all right? It also carries out the laws made by Congress, and the head of this branch is the president. United States citizens elect a president every 4 years, and the president is also the commander of the United States military. Now, up here at the top, once a year, usually in January or February, the president will hold what is called a State of the Union address. And this is where they speak to the American people about the state of the United States, like how things are going. All right. The third branch is the judicial branch. Now, this decides the meaning of laws and whether laws have been followed. Many courts across the nation make up the judicial branch. Now, the highest court is the Supreme Court. So you remember that the Articles of Confederation created a weak federal government, all right? Now, the U.S. Constitution gives the federal government more power, but it does not give its leaders unlimited power. So that fear that they had about the king, they took that away by sort of creating these 3 different branches of government. Now, the Constitution is a plan for a limited government. Everyone must follow the law, including those who run for government, all right? Now, what I'm going to ask you to do today has to do with a little investigative work, all right? You're going to identify who our senators are and our representatives for the legislative branch. Next one should be pretty easy. The executive branch, right? Who is the head of this branch? And then finally, the judicial branch, all right? I'm going to be asking you to find a judge identify one of the judges in our Supreme Court, okay? That's all you're doing today. Tomorrow we'll get in and talk a little bit about checks and balances and how this whole branches of government works. But that's it for today. All right, guys?